Hi guys, we have a very beautiful topic today. Telephonic conversation. Okay, how to converse formally, informally on our telephone. That is very much required in today's era. So we'll see now that everybody is having the mobile. So how many of us are actually following the right conversation when you're talking to your colleague, when you're talking to your friends, when you're talking formally to your teachers or your principal? So those are things that we are going to learn today. How formal to keep your conversation, and what rules to follow when you're talking to your friends in a very casual manner. That is formal and informal conversation. So let's see that. So what is a telephonic conversation? Okay, so what is basically a conversation is, this is a transmission of message through phone, that is through voice. Okay, so it can be informal when talking to your friends or relatives, and it can be very formal when talking about official matters, when talking about in your office, to your boss or to your superiors or to your juniors or to your colleagues. When you're talking, that is formal. Okay, so there are two types of conversation. One is informal, one is formal. When talking to friends and relatives, is going to be very informal, very casual. There is no rules attached to that. Whereas when talking to your office, when you're talking to your boss or your juniors or superiors or your colleagues, the conversation has to be very formal. So let's see how the difference between two are. So when talking, generally most of a conversation is going to be in English. So when formal conversation, you just start your conversation by saying hello, good morning, this is so and so speaking. You can put your name there, and if you're asking for somebody, you can say, could I speak to Mr. so and so, and use the word please. Okay, could I speak to Mr. Ravi please? So use the word please and use the word could, and your tone of conversation also should be in a more interrogative, that is asking a question in a more of a request manner. Okay, so your tone also should change, how you are using your formal conversation. Keep it very pleasant and what you call very pleasing for the other person to listen. And whereas when saying when you have an informal conversation, it's going to be just very casual. Hi, hello, how do you do? It's you can put your name. It's Ram here. Is Ravi there? There is no rule as such. You can just very casually ask what you are asking for. So let's see the next one. So asking for more information or making a request. How do you make a formal request on the phone? Let's see. So you can be using all the words like can, could, may. So these are the words generally used for requests. So can I ask whom I'm speaking to? Can I know whom I'm speaking to? Yeah. And where are you calling from? Again, that there should be what you call very casual way of a formal way of asking questions. May I ask who is speaking? May I know who is speaking? Yeah. May I know? Can I ask whom I'm speaking to, please? So use these kind of words: please, can, could, may. Yeah, these are the general words to be having a very formal and very pleasing way of asking. And informal, you can simply ask who's calling, who's speaking, who is it, and whom I'm speaking to. These are informal ways of casually asking, but see that you're not quite rude enough, and it's very pleasant when you're talking to your friends and relatives as well. Yeah. Okay, so asking the caller to wait, like suppose somebody has called you and you want the other person to wait until you get some information, or you want the other person to call online. So what do you say? A moment please, you can say on the phone. A moment please, let me get the message, or get your friend online. You can use the word just a minute, okay, or just a second, please wait. You can say hang on a minute, or hold on a minute, I'll get him. Okay, so hold the line please, we'll be with you in a minute. Yeah, hold the line please, he will be with you in a minute. So don't hang up please, I will see if she is there or no. I mean, if she is nearby, I can call you. So these are general way of conversation, and this comes only through practice, I would say. So keep your conversation even while talking to your friends or relatives as far as possible in English, so that it comes very naturally when you're talking in a very formal way of conversation. Okay, so these are very common use, generally used, and it's a very pleasing and pleasant way of asking people to wait on the line. Okay, please wait a moment. Okay, not necessarily the exact conversation should be this way, but the meaning or the message that has to be conveyed should be very polite and very pleasing. As you see in the same message, how many pleases are used? Please. So many please are used here. So see that you are using it more and more in your conversation. Okay, now how to give a negative information? So many a times we may have to give negative information on the phone, so that also has to be done it in a very polite, decent, civilized manner. So general way of using negative words in your English conversation is we use a phrase called as I am afraid. Okay, I am afraid is not literally na and not as they say in Tamil. Okay, so I am afraid the line's engaged. Can you call back later? So that's a general phrase of saying that I'm sorry. Okay, I'm afraid he is in a meeting at the moment. I'm sorry he is out of the office today. He isn't in at the moment. I'm afraid we don't have a Mr., Mrs. or Miss here. Or you can say I'm sorry there's nobody here by that name. Sorry, I think you have dialed the wrong number. I'm afraid you have got the wrong number. So very casually you can start using the phrase I'm afraid or I'm sorry, meaning both the meaning conveys the same, that you can't help the other person in this scenario, in this particular situation. Okay, again I would like to say the word afraid here is not bayam or not getting scared. Okay, as we say in Tamil, it is actually you're feeling sorry for the other person, that you're not in a position to help that person. Okay, so that is the actual meaning that it's conveyed in I'm afraid. Okay, so see that you're using in your conversation in the right manner. Afraid is not scared or not bayam as we tell in Tamil. It's afraid is just another word for sorry. Okay, now what are telephone problems like when we're using formal and informal? Let's see. I'm afraid I can't hear you very well. Suppose sometimes the line is not clear or you have some background noises and the line is not clear. You can say I'm afraid I can't hear you very well. Could you mind speaking up a bit please? Speaking up a bit please. That is, you're asking the other person to raise the voice. I'm afraid my English isn't very good. Could you speak slowly please? Yeah, these are the general conversations you can ask the other person. Could you repeat this that please? Yeah, all this. You see, again and again we're using the word please as far as possible in your telephonic conversation. And when it is informal, sorry I can't catch that, or you can say that again please, I can't hear you very well, sorry the line is quite bad. This is a casual informal way of speaking, whereas in the formal way we are using the word please again and again. We are using the word could, we are using the word would, we are using the word afraid, yeah, and we are using the word please abundantly in our conversation when it is a formal language. Taking or leaving a message. Okay, so a person is a receiver. Can I take a message? Or when you are a caller, you can say that can I leave a message, that is you're wanting to talk to some other person and the person is not there and you want to leave a message on that behalf. You can say that can I leave a message for that person. And when you are a receiver, you can use the word can I give a message, or the other way you can say could you give a message. And from receiver's point of view, you can say would you like to leave him or her a message, whereas from the caller's point of view you can say could you take a message for him or her, or can you tell him or her that so and so, whatever message you're going to say. So depending on whether you're a receiver or a caller, your conversation will slightly change when leaving a message for somebody else, right? Okay, time to say goodbye. So how you are going to close your conversation? When it is a formal, you are just going to say thank you for calling, have a good day, goodbye. Yeah, informal you are just going to say bye, talk soon, or speak to you again soon. This is a general way of saying, right? And some more examples of formal phone conversation. You have speaker 1 and speaker 2. Speaker 1 says good morning, I would like to talk to Mr. Dan Brown please. See the word again and again, they're using the word please. And the other end, the other speaker also is very beautiful, saying good morning, I'm sorry but Mr. Dan Brown is not here at the moment, would you like to leave him a message? Very formal and very casual way of conversing, and it is short and crisp. You're not dragging it, right? So your first thing is you're greeting that person. Second, you're conveying that the person is not there whom they're looking for. third, immediately you're asking if the message has to be taken on that person's behalf. So it's all in one shot, it is all done, right? Three actions done in one instance again. And as I said, informal, the conversation has to be short and crisp and to the point. You're not going to be dragging it. So what is the reply for the first speaker speaking now? Yes, please tell him that Miss Sumati needs to contact him. The second speaker, the receiver, he says, sure, I'll tell him. Does he has your phone number? And speaker one says, yes, he has it, thank you. And the receiver says, you're welcome. Something else? So that receiver is making sure if anything else, this person can help the person, right? Trying to help the first caller person. And speaker one very nicely says, no, that's all, goodbye. And speaker 2 very beautifully converts or closes the conversation by saying goodbye, Miss Sumati. So the way when you start using a person's name, it gives a more personal touch. Okay, so the person 2 has very politely taken the person's name and conveying goodbye to that person. So all these are general things that actually has to be done in your phone conversation. And one more example of informal phone conversation. We saw the example of formal conversation in the previous slide. Now we'll see informal conversation. Speaker 1 says, hi Rosie, how is it going on? And speaker 2 says, hi, hey man, cool, you. And then speaker 1 says, good, what about your husband? And speaker 2 says, he's working now, something to tell him. Yep is a very informal way of saying yes. If he can call me back, please. Sure, I'll tell him. Thanks, Rosie. Take care. No problem. You too. Bye. Okay. Very informal way of keeping the conversation, and it's just asking the other person's husband to give a call back. That's it. Okay, that's all, guys, for this informal and formal conversation. And as I said, it comes only through practice. So more and more, you guys have to speak to each other. For informal conversation, and try speaking to say some officers or some any official person, and just try to converse with them in very formal way, and see the reaction what they give. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.